Next, we have William Holden and Martha Scott, who star as the young lovers in Thornton Wilder's homespun drama, Our Town. The action, of course, takes place in Grover's Corners in New Hampshire. Then, next, we'll see Constance Bennett and Lowell Sherman, who star in the behind-the-scenes movie drama, What Price Hollywood? Directed by George Cukor, this 1930 David O. Selznick production inspired the later versions of A Star is Born. Next, New York nightlife is exposed in a drama called Night World. Lou Ayres is in this, and Mae Clark and Boris Karloff. They star with George Raft and Hedda Hopper in support. Now, the answer to yesterday's movie question, and then we'll be on to our first feature film. In what film did Ronald Reagan co-star with his wife, Nancy? Well, that 1957 release was Hellcats of the Navy. Did you know that one? It was their only screen appearance, incidentally, together. They were married in 1952, but Nancy's screen credit read at that time Nancy Davis, her maiden name. I'll have another question for you later, and I'll be back to tell you, of course, more about our first feature right after we take a look at this.
What if you heard a crime being planned?
I don't want anything to do with it, Mr. Evans. I don't like the sound of it.
What if no one believed you?
Inspector, we have to get Evans, and we have to get him before tomorrow.
Oh, we haven't got a lot to go on, Mr. Hammond, but we shall make inquiries.
What if they knew that you knew? What if you were in danger? And what if you were blind? Van Johnson and Vera Miles play a deadly game of cat and mouse in 23 Paces to Baker Street, premiering Sunday, December 4th on American Movie Classics. Spencer Tracy has a new piece of hardware.
Emmy goes to work, and the answer comes out here. And it never makes a mistake.
But he's falling for Katharine Hepburn's software.
I'm the old-fashioned type.
Together, they're giving a whole new meaning to computer dating.
That monster machine you created, you're in love with her. She's all you ever think about.
Joan Blondell, Gig Young, and Dina Merrill co-star in Desk Set. It's an American Movie Classic. Sunday.
Hello, I'm Douglas Fairbanks, Jr. This holiday season, American Movie Classics has assembled a lineup of some of the best movies ever made. Now, throughout December, we're presenting a galaxy of stars in their most famous roles. Award-winning movies the way they were meant to be seen. All uncut, without commercials. It's our holiday gift to you. So spend your holidays with the stars on American Movie Classics.
One of the greatest things about watching classic movies like The King of Jazz is to see all the things that we now take for granted. First, it was made back in 1930 when talking pictures was still really the marvel of the century. And this one didn't just talk. This one sang and danced, and it made terrific music, too. Some of it written by a radical 27-year-old guy, a composer named George Gershwin. Why radical, you might say? Well, back in those days, you see, jazz was jazz and classical music was classical music. But what Gershwin did is he kind of mixed the two styles together to create something completely new and exciting. Syncopation was here, and unorthodox chord structures and whole tone scales. This was all the panorama that George Gershwin showed us so beautifully in his music. One of the highlights of King of Jazz is the first screen production of Gershwin's legendary Rhapsody in Blue. But it wasn't just the music that made King of Jazz a classic that it is. It's who really is making the music. Rhapsody in Blue, of course, was performed by Paul Whiteman and his orchestra, and it was Whiteman who legitimately held the title King of Jazz. You'll see how he got that nickname in a delightful cartoon sequence that's created by Walter Lantz, who later became famous for creating and appearing on the Woody Woodpecker show. Joining Paul Whiteman for the number are Roy Bargy on the piano and Jacques Cartier on the clarinet. You'll notice Cartier right away. He's the one who's not wearing any clothes, so he's pretty tough to miss. There's another legendary performer making his film debut in The King of Jazz. You'll recognize his voice immediately. He sings Sweetheart under the opening credits. Who is it? You're about to find out. Here's King of Jazz.